So did Dillon Brooks actually cost the Grizzlies Game 4 last night? Dillon Brooks shot a horrendous 5 of 19 from the field, and he went 2 of 9 from beyond the arc, recording only 12 points. So we're going to go through and take a look at every shot and see if this is a case of just poor shooting luck or if he was actually playing hero ball. Then at the end, we'll determine whether or not he's able to be deemed responsible for the Grizzlies falling short in this game and going down 3-1 in this series, a really difficult hurdle to overcome. On his first shot, we're less than a minute into the game. There's a fresh shot clock, and Brooks is going to dribble right into a pull-up three-pointer. Dillon Brooks is a 22% shooter on pull-up shots, and given this was a fresh possession and the game had essentially just started, this is pretty easily a bad shot. Here we have his first make, but was it a good shot? He gets the ball in the corner, and he's going to attack the closeout, and he's able to get to the rim for a layup. I'd say this is a good shot, pretty standard stuff. This miss, though, is one that I've seen getting posted on Twitter a lot, and the miss itself honestly looks a lot worse than the actual shot selection. It's an open corner three. I'll say that this shot was fine, it's just bad luck. Here, he's bringing the ball up, and he's going to try and cross up Klay, and all things considered, I'd say he doesn't get the worst look in the world, but he also had Steven Adams right there with a mismatch, who he could have dumped it off to. I'm a little conflicted on this one, so I'd say it's a bit of a gray area, but it's a bad shot in the sense that he should have been focusing on facilitating the offense and not scoring, because that's just not his role. This one is probably the most infuriating one so far. He dribbles into a hesitation drive against Draymond Green. Obviously, Draymond Green is a notoriously fantastic defender, and he decides to go right into a pull-up mid-range shot. This is easily a bad shot. I don't think I need to explain that too much. This play, he's going to attack before giving the ball to Adams and relocating for Adams to get it back to him. And while he does get a wide open look for a mid-range shot, let's point out a couple things. One, Dillon Brooks is a 35% mid-range shooter, so this is inherently a bad shot. Two, he had 𝙖𝙗𝙤𝙪 Jones and Desmond Bane on the perimeter, who he could have passed to. There's 14 seconds on the shot clock here. This is a bad shot. On this one, he gets the ball above the break, and he's going to pull it. This is another one that I'm not entirely sure on, because on one hand, the shot clock was under 10 seconds, but on the other hand, it's a really deep shot. He could have attacked the basket or passed it to somebody else, but I think this is one that probably falls more into that gray area category. I'm not even going to go through this shot here. It's a bad shot, like seriously horrible and completely unnecessary. But hey, he's going to make this one. Good cut, good finish, good shot. This one isn't a terrible shot if you're like a guy who normally takes these shots and can knock them down somewhat consistently, but Dillon Brooks just isn't that kind of guy, so bad shot. Again, here, dribbling into a contested fall-away mid-range shot is just not the kind of shot you want a role player operating in. It's a bad shot. This shot, great. Catch and shoot, good high percentage look. This is the kind of stuff that you want Dillon Brooks taking, even if he misses it. This is a look that I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on because he establishes a pretty decent lane and he almost gets the shot to fall. So I'd say it's a good shot. Now here, this is another catch and shoot shot. You can't be too upset with the look, but given the context of the kind of shooting night that he was having, maybe it's not the best shot, but in a vacuum, it's fine. Here, he's going to ISO on Klay Thompson for some reason, and he's going to lead into a three-pointer off the dribble that just results in an absolute brick. It's a bad shot. Now, this one was ruled a block by Klay, but honestly, there wasn't much time on the shot clock, and his teammates weren't really doing much besides standing on the perimeter, so I'm going to give him a break, cut him some slack, and say, oh well, he had no choice but to try and make something happen with how little time there was left on the shot clock. This one isn't really an ideal situation. 8 seconds left on the shot clock and 𝙖𝙗𝙤𝙪 Jones passes it to him. He's going to fake the drive, but then he goes into this sidestep three-pointer for a miss. Again, it's kind of tough here because yes, it is a bad shot. He should have given it up after he couldn't get a high percentage look, or he should have driven to try and draw a foul. It's not a good shot, so it's going to go in the bad shot category, but I do understand that there really wasn't much time left on the clock, and that likely impacted his decision there. This shot, good drive, good make. I wish he'd done more of this in this game instead of all of the mid-range garbage and perimeter ISOs against Klay Thompson. Then, of course, we have the buzzer beater, which I can't call a good or a bad shot because it was just a heave anyways, plus he makes it. Didn't really make much of a difference anyways. The final score ultimately came out to 101-98 with the Warriors winning, going up 3-1 in the series. The Grizzlies only needed 3 more points to have tied it and 4 more to have won the game. The Grizzlies shot a collective 41.7% from the field and 25.7% from 3. So let's take these 10 shots that I deemed bad shots, and just for the sake of hypotheticals, replace them with good shots, aka non-hero ball shots. Let's pretend Brooks was taking nothing but high percentage looks all night, just good catch and shoot shots and layups from attacking closeouts. You could hypothetically have gotten a minimum of 8 points out of him and a maximum of 12 points, depending on if those were 2s or 3s, and he was hitting them at the clip that the Grizzlies shot as a team in this game. The Grizzlies lost by 3. It's kind of hard to imagine that if Dillon Brooks had been looking for better shots, that he would have probably been able to get enough shots to fall to at least get 3 or 4 more extra points. So yes, Dillon Brooks resorting to hero ball did kind of cost the Grizzlies the game. Jaren Jackson Jr., despite not scoring at a very efficient rate, still played fantastic defense. Tyus Jones and Kyle Anderson were fantastic from beyond the arc, and Bane shot well from the perimeter too. It's really hard not to look at Dillon Brooks as the odd man out in this scenario. All of Brooks' shots should have been given to Desmond Bane. Brooks is a role player. He's a 3-and-D guy. He's not someone that you want taking nearly 20 shots in a pivotal playoff game for you. This is a big problem. This role player does not know what his role is for this team, and it ultimately ended up costing them a game, putting them down 3-1 in this series. Like I said, Bane should have been taking these shots. He's a guy who's earned the right to go out there and go down shooting, not Dillon Brooks. Unfortunately, this could potentially cost them the entire series. Playing hard and just having bad shooting luck is something that can be forgiven as long as you're making decent decisions and taking high percentage looks. But playing completely out of your element and trying to be a hero is selfish, and it's an easy way to get shipped out on the next train out of town. So do you think that the Memphis Grizzlies can come back from being down 3-1? Do you think that this loss falls entirely on Dillon Brooks? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Real quick, guys, if you're new to the channel, only 5% of the people who see my videos are subscribed. So if you enjoyed this video and you love the NBA, be sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.